part of my brain is now going to be tasked. So let's say 80% of my brain is going to be focused on what I'm doing. I've tasked 20% of it to now be coming it with ideas such that when I finish this segment, I've got some ideas that are ready to go for the next segment. So they're not interfering with my cognitive process and my ability to be conscious and present to what I'm doing. It's almost like they're behind a little doorway, but when I'm finished, the doorway opens and boom, all of those ideas come in. And so I can do that on a rolling basis as well. So I always arrive prepared for the next thing, even though technically speaking, there hasn't really been time to prepare. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You're sounding so similar with different words. So for me, it's like, I'm always having ideas. So what I do is, I've got like a little ideas book and I'll write them down. But then what I do is I've got this filing system. And so it will get sent to Z. Now, when I'm ready, I'll bring that back in, at a point where it's convenient. And then I'll look over that. And then I've got like what I do is I just like, you mentioned segments. And so I focus on just some set things. And you talked about focus and segments. And so I suppose that is what it is. But what I do is like, I'll have like a daily time planner. So I know, and then I've got the 3 goals at the top. So within that, it might be 1 or 2 goals or something. And then I know, okay, that's what I'm working on. So it means that, okay, for the next 1 hour, for the next 1.5 hours, that's what I'm doing. And so I hone in on that. And sometimes if it means that I need to change up my timing of my days, I absolutely do. So it might be, I'm not looking at emails, phone messages, etc., for the next 2 to 3 hours. And then I have a day where I focus on me creating, writing, and so on. So I know that's what it is. And it's like, I always love Wednesdays. And so, and that's kind of a day where it's like, I can just have this flow. So instead of the flow stopping at an hour and a half, I take a break and come back to it. I can just flow fully throughout. And then what I'm creating is like, this is great. Maybe this would have taken me 4 or 5 weeks, but I've done this in a day. So, so for me, I kind of do mine like that. And I kind of feel like that's one of the best ways for me. So it means I'm not kind of like floundering here, then everywhere. And you kind of think like, oh my God, yeah, you're doing this, doing that. And like you mentioned, that you're not, because I think as women, we naturally pre-think. Okay. And sometimes you've got to pull that in. And although, yes, you kind of know it's there, like I said, there is a send it to the file Z and bring it back at a time that's convenient. So you're not doing this stacking, what I call the stacking method, when you've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it's like, oh my God. And then when you're seeing that whole thing, of course, it's going to be overwhelming. So, so for me, it's very much like that. So I don't know, my pots are probably 20.
And of course, you've got a family as well to be looking after and thinking about, intergenerational. That's a whole different ball game. And there's sometimes no planning for that, because you have no idea when somebody is going to want or need something.
Exactly. And children, I think your children, no matter what age they are, there's always a support. So there's, that bit is eternal, if you like. And that support could come, like you said, at any point in time, and just thinking, right, I'm going to go to bed early tonight. And then, one of them, needs a bit of support with something, or needs your help with something. And, as a parent, that's part of your remit, to be there and support and guide. So, yeah, there's all that extra in there too.
So make sure to subscribe to the Best Minds TV YouTube channel by just clicking on the subscribe button below this video.